Oh, whoops. Oh dear. What am I doing here? There we go. Oh. Whoopsies. Oh, I hope we get some early team news today, like. That would be very, very handy. What's up, Ahmad? How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? What's up, Rez? How's it going, lads? We're just on YouTube Live today. Made a bit of a change in my live schedule in terms of what platforms I'm going to use going forward, I think. Because I feel as though recently, since I've been adding TikTok into the mix, it's kind of too hard to keep track of like 2 chats at once. So we're only on only on YouTube Live today, and I think that's probably the move going forward. Got to show the love to the YouTube crew. What we all doing this week then, lads? Brez, Ahmad, what we doing? It's going to be an interesting week to see like what options emerge as like the best picks in terms of Liverpool assets, because I'm a bit stuck at the moment. I've already made 4 transfers with a hit, but I have a benching crisis. Ahmad, let me see it, bro. Let me see it, man. What masterclass have you popped up with this week? I need to see this. I haven't really looked at my team, to be honest, but checked it out this morning. Any thoughts then, Brez? What we planning on? I'll drop my ID 1 second. Yeah, I'll get ready for it, bro. Slap my team up for now. Oh my god, why is that going off? Right, I might drop your transfers you've made in the chat and we'll have a little look at what's going on then. What transfers have been confirmed? I imagine you're not going to make any more transfers actually if you've done 4 and a hit. Hopefully it loads. It's been a bit slow. Fantasy Football Hub at the moment. I think I might put Sarr on the bench and maybe sell Saliba. The thing with Saliba is apparently he's been training So it's, I don't know. Is it time to get rid of Saliba? It could be. It could be. Might be like eased back into the squad as well, so we just don't know. So, Raul, Wood, Saliba, and... Raul, Wood, Saliba, Sarr to... Okay. To Gakpo, Mateta... Mateta... And Saliba to Kanate. And then you did also Mbeumo in as well. Let's see. So this is your team this week then, Ahmad. So, bench and headache indeed. I mean, your Orange Apple, how you doing, man? Just having a little look at Ahmad's team at the moment, trying to figure out what to do. I like Rodgers a lot this week, to be honest, Ahmad. But when you look at the options you've got there, he's probably the one I'd bench. Robinson, I think the fixtures aren't too great coming up, to be really honest. It's only Palace and Wolves that I kind of like, and the double game week looks more and more unlikely. So him as an asset he's kind of going down in my expectations at the moment, but I wouldn't be starting him this game week. Yo, Baller Boy, what's going on? Yeah, I think I'd do something like that, Ahmad, with your team, bro. I think that's how I would deal with it. Bench Rodgers, maybe. Hawk says, yo, what's up? I'm rolling, but do I start Yao Pedro or Rodgers? I honestly would probably start Yao Pedro. I think the narrative for me becomes now with Everton, they're trying to be more attacking. They're probably not going to be as strong as a defence. So, for me, I think Yao Pedro is a decent option with pens compared to Rodgers, who doesn't have pens. I still think Rodgers will do really well this week, but yeah, I think that's how I'm looking at it right now. Shout out Baller Boy, man. Haven't seen you in a while, Baller Boy. How you doing, man? I've just seen I have 2 free transfers. If I sell a Saliba, I have 9 million. I think I might do Gabriel to Saliba. Or Saliba to Gabriel, I imagine you mean. It seems like almost a sideways move in the sense of you just going centre-back to centre-back. And it's especially a bit risky because Gabriel is the better option out of the two. You could maybe consider it, but with City next week, do you have enough bench cover for that? Is what I would say. Brez. Orange Apple says, start 2 of Yao Pedro, Kluivert, Mikolenko, and Castagna. I currently have Kluivert and Yao Pedro starting. I think I would agree with you. I think that's exactly how I would do it, Orange Apple. Ahmad says, I'm also thinking of going Isak captain just to go differential to win my FPL mini league. I'm currently 2nd place and first is captaining Salah. Ooh. Yeah, what I'm doing at the moment, bro, is I'm just sticking on Salah. I just think midfielders are likely to get more points for doing certain actions. The clean sheet point as well added on. Salah doesn't have to do as much as Isak. But of course, Isak has the slight better fixture, I would say. It is away from home, which isn't ideal. Long journey. But I think he's still a good option, of course. Yeah, I'm captaining Salah Hawk, yeah. Zane says, what would you do with my team? I have 2 free transfers. Should we have a little look at your team then, Zane? Let's have a little look what Zane's dealing with here. Brez says, I have Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, Robinson, Hall, Rico. I mean, you could try play Saliba this week. With Saliba, it's more than likely he doesn't come on at the end of a game. But if he's trying to be eased back in the squad, maybe that would be the case. Right, so Zane's team here. He's got 2 free transfers. Oh, 3 free transfers, sorry. What can he cook up? Let's see. I mean, the defence is probably what I would look at doing. Because you've got Kirkes there, you've got Robinson. I like Kirkes, obviously, with Southampton and Wolves in 25 and 26, and that's not too far away. So I'd definitely consider keeping Kirkes, but maybe not playing him. How would I do this? I mean, Colwill out seems a decent enough move. Chelsea exactly aren't the best defence at the moment. Konate is obviously the cheaper option there. Then we've got to save 0.5 in this move. Could we possibly stretch up from Robinson? No, we couldn't. Maybe sell him Wood and go into Wissa. Could free the money to that. So there's 2 free transfers. And then maybe going ahead, playing Wissa. Sorry, I'm just looking around my camera to see if I can get a good... click the button for the sub. It's tough, this, Zane, I can't lie, with your team. I'm going to refresh and start again. I was thinking Concert instead of Colwill. Okay, we'll pencil that in so we know that's kind of what you're preferring at the moment. Keep trying to click the wrong bloody button. There we go. Right, so Concert as a transfer to get the sort of this 3 block of fixtures. Okay. So there's one of your 3 transfers, and that allows us to do this. It's not the end of the world playing Robinson, of course. Who else would I really want to bench this week? I would maybe even just leave it at that, and maybe then look at Robinson out to Konate, because you can afford that. And then you've kind of got that as a team with 2 free transfers, and I quite like that team, actually. Obviously, Foden next week's maybe a sell after the Chelsea game. He has been absolutely popping off, though. Yeah, that's kind of how I would look at your team, bro. Ahmad says, I'm very unsure who to start from Rodgers and Bruno. I would start Bruno. He's got the pens, you know. Yes, United aren't exactly popping off at the moment, but, you know. Trying to get a 3rd Liverpool player into my team, but not sure if it's worth getting rid of Wood or Isak for Gakpo. Could get Alisson or Diaz in, or even Schlott as an assistant manager in game week 24. For me, on triple Liverpool at the moment, I'd like the defenders a little bit better. I'm still put off Gakpo just a tiny bit, and it's kind of bugging me. So I think I'm kind of going to go for Andy Robertson or Konate. I take any other Saliba replacement I want to sell because the only returns he gets, which is a clean sheet, which is very less nowadays. Yeah, I think in terms of Saliba replacement, you're kind of going to try get amongst the Liverpool defence. If you've got Trent, great. If you don't, I could maybe consider a Konate or a Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to go slightly different and go Andrew Robertson, I think. Just as a big risk, a bit of a differential pick. Obviously, that could definitely bite me in the arse, which is why I'm not recommending that pick to yourself. But I think I'm considering it this week. Right, we'll leave that graphic up for now. If anyone needs any predicted lineups or anything, just shout me. Think I should bench Mbeumo for Rodgers and start Bruno? I wouldn't bench Mbeumo, no. If you're really unsure about Bruno, you could play Rodgers, because I think it's a good enough fixture for Rodgers. But, I don't know, Bruno with the pens, how good he is for United. Obviously, he's had a few bad weeks, actually, but... yeah, I would definitely consider. Any ideas on how you're going to line up? Yeah, I'll share them just now. Planned transfer at the moment is either Konate or Andrew Robertson. That would be my only transfer. I'd bench Wood, and that's how I'd go about things this week. Obviously, super risky going Andrew Robertson over anyone else. However, I'm kind of up for it this week. Bloody my camera batteries, or my light battery's stuck in the bloody case. I can't get it out. Never mind, we'll have one light today. Yeah, there's a few things I could do, but I think I've got 4 free transfers. Start Ahmad or Rodgers. Ooh. Do you know what? I'd probably go Rodgers. I think Fulham are a decent enough defence. West Ham are a bit shaky still. I think that's how I'd go about things. Are you thinking about transferring Gakpo next week for the double? I think I'm going to triple up in the sense of Trent, Robertson or Konate and Salah. I don't think I'm going to go for Gakpo, Diaz, Nunez, Chiesa, and none of them guys. I like, because, well, obviously I mentioned Chiesa in that sort of, that 4 rotation up front, just because, yes, I think Gakpo's going to start, but Chiesa's slowly been put into this team ever so slightly recently, and it's kind of made me think, is he probably going to get some more minutes? No TikTok stream, not today, mate, no. I've had a little thought about TikTok live stream for the deadline, and I feel as though keeping track of 2 chats is just kind of impossible, especially with TikTok chat being so fast. I kind of want to take my time and answer everyone's questions with, like, actual rationale and thought, rather than just spewing it out and kind of doing this with my head, trying to keep up with chat. So I think going forward, I think I'm only going to stream deadline streams on YouTube. That could change though. I might do the odd TikTok stream here and there, but maybe it's a midweek thing, or a live stream for a game could be the way to go. We'll see how we go though. Everything can change. Thoughts on Saliba to Trent and Sarr to Kluivert? I'll have 1.9 in the bank. If you can afford Saliba to Trent just as is, I would definitely do that move. I think that's a good move. Yeah, I like that move. Isn't Ahmad a better pick since he's been scoring last minute in tough games? You could. That's kind of an argument for Ahmad if you really like it, but yeah, I still quite like Rodgers. I think his fixture's better. He's obviously at home this week. Obviously, it's closer than we're maybe giving it credit to, but I quite like Rodgers, and I think possibly he could do very well this week. I just rate Fulham. I just rate Fulham. And Mbeumo or Murphy to start. I would honestly try start both if you really could. I really would. Expectations for Salah's price next season. I mean, Ahmad, it's a very strong possibility that we don't even have Salah next season. It's a possibility, bro. So no Kluivert. For me, Kluivert's entry point is 25. I can't see myself getting him or Semenyo kind of before that. They've got Liverpool, they've got Forest this week, of course, at home. Yeah. Out of Ahmad, Murphy and Mbeumo, start 2. Murphy and Mbeumo. That's who I would go for, personally. I think there's more upside with Murphy because of the fixture. With Mbeumo, obviously I just think he's a great player. Penalties, 90 minutes, set pieces. You don't really need much more from an FPL asset other than good fixtures, and he's starting to have good fixtures now. So, yeah, I like Mbeumo a lot. I'm glad I've kept a hold of him. Obviously, he hasn't done too well with the bad fixtures, but we kind of expected that. Ahmed says he reckons Salah will be 16 to 17 million. Wow. Yeah, I think the most Salah would be next season is 15 if he stayed and extended his contract or signed a new contract even. I just thought about Clivert from a pen taken point of view. Look, I think, yes, definitely, Clivert this week could be decent with the pens in mind, but it's a tough fixture. It really is. Of course, he had a tough fixture last week against Newcastle, and Bournemouth absolutely decimated them. But I think it's Forest a different gravy. It's a different kettle of fish here we're dealing with Forest, a very organised team. And I think this week is just not the week I would do Clivert in. I think definitely he's a player I will be targeting in 25 onwards. Even Semenyo, I do really like as well. Hi, Guy. What's up, bro? What's up, dude? Yeah, it's this week. I'm not sure about Clivert. Who wants a good tip? Go on then. Give us a good tip then. Let's see. Shafiq, let's go, bro. What were you thinking, Shafiq? What were we thinking? This is a better graphic, isn't it? There we go. Shafiq in the chat. Nice to see you, man. Okay, so following 4 consecutive tips or successful tips, this is a good move. Just selling Palmer for Son. Well, this is what I did. Palmer to Son. Palmer to Human Son is interesting. What I don't like is I don't like Spurs, and that's the only thing. I like the move and the idea of the move, but I just don't like Spurs. I mean, Palmer is just ticking away recently. Kind of a few goals here and there. Chelsea haven't looked great, but the fixtures do look okay. West Ham, Brighton, Villa, Southampton, Leicester. Not too bad. Let's kind of look at some. What we're dealing with Son. Leicester, Brentford, United, Ipswich, City, Bournemouth, Fulham. I would say they're kind of similar to Chelsea's fixtures in some ways. But I cannot hate Son. Yeah, I love Son. He's just such a nice guy. I like Son. Yeah, the only issue with Human Son for me is just Spurs are so inconsistent. I really don't know what to expect from them. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a look at how he's been doing in recent weeks in terms of returns. It's his minutes that get me as well, actually. Obviously, he's probably going to play a few more minutes with the injuries of Solanke and that, but yeah. 60 minutes there. 30 against Bournemouth. 77. Does play the odd 90 here and there, which is really nice. And obviously this week with Leicester is a big week for Spurs assets. Yeah, interesting. I think that could work though, Shafiq. In terms of like big upside in the mood for this week especially. Obviously, Richarlison should play up front, but if he doesn't, and we see Mikey Moore on the left, that means Son will play striker as well. Which is definitely something which we've seen before, which is very nice for Human Son. Just gets more chances overall. I agree, this is only for 4 game weeks, and I would get Palmer on game week 27 for Son. Yeah, I like that. I think that could be a good little move for you, bro, if you're kind of bullish on Human Son. I mean, if we look at Cole Palmer for sort of, this block of fixtures for 4 that Shafiq's talking about. He's got City, which I actually don't think is a bad City for Palmer and Chelsea, but we'll see how that goes. West Ham's a good fixture for Palmer. Brighton, it's an alright one. Villa, an alright one. And then he goes obviously on to Southampton and Leicester, which Shafiq would have Palmer for. Yeah, I can't lie. I don't mind. I don't mind that move. I think I'm just going to stick away from Spurs at the moment. You would think that Spurs would maybe make some signings. Do you know what I mean? They've been a bit meek in this January transfer window. It just seems that they're not kind of backing Ange and helping him out with all these injuries. You feel as though they could definitely do something in this window, but they haven't really made any moves. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually bench Chris Wood this week and play Sarr over him, just as a bit of a punt on Chris Wood not doing as well this game week. I kind of don't mind that as a little punt as well. Let me know what you think of that, lads. What do you reckon of benching Chris Wood this week against Bournemouth? The reverse fixture was 1-1, where Chris Wood scored, of course. But I might do this. Brentford at home for Palace. Obviously, Brentford away from home aren't doing too well this season. Ismail Assar should be starting. Obviously, we've heard a little bit of news with the press conference. I think I'm going to stick with this kind of lineup and then get rid of Robinson and go to Robertson or Konate this week. Kind of double up on that Liverpool defence. Would mean I've got double Arsenal and double Liverpool defence. But I think I could move away from David Raya next week, potentially. And it's maybe a Pickford or another option. It depends how I feel about the double. I'm really waiting on to see how Everton do this week. Because if, again, they're looking quite attacking, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Dye could actually be options, which is a bit mental to say out loud. Because the rest of the season have been absolutely pants. But, yeah, maybe David Moyes can get them playing again. Especially more attacking. I just don't think I'm going to go for an Everton defender, which is kind of almost set in stone for me. I just don't think defensively Everton are going to be as good under Moyes as they have been under... speaking of Wood, I bought him only for last game week, where everyone told me to captain him, but mostly did not listen. Oh, you only brought him in last week? Ah, right. Should I start Raul or Rodgers? I would start Rodgers. Captaincy this week, Salah, Isak, for me. One of them two. Salah's my actual captain, though. Last week was a funny one in terms of being so low scoring. I really thought it would be a really high scoring week across the board for all the premiums, and it would kind of be really close with captaincy, but Chris Wood was just far out the better option. I think he outscored Palmer, Salah, Isak combined. Yeah. How's it going, Jack? Should I start Sarr or Rodgers? I think between the two, I would lean more towards Rodgers. Yeah, I think Rodgers would maybe just pip it for me. I think it's a good fixture for him. Obviously, Sarr's got a good fixture as well, but Brentford, I think, arguably are a better side than West Ham at the moment. So that's going off fixtures as well. Who you said outscore Salah, Palmer, Isak? Salah, Palmer, and Isak put together last week. Chris Wood outscored all of their scores combined. Because Palmer blanked. Salah just got a clean sheet, and Isak blanked. Those 3 scores put together didn't add up to over Chris Wood's score, so Chris Wood was a better captaincy option by like a long shot. It was actually a crazy game week in terms of like captaincy picks, not going really well apart from Chris Wood. I still came away with a green arrow, funny enough though, considering I did captain the wrong person. Normally with my team at the moment, with it being quite template, if I don't get the right captaincy pick, it's normally a red arrow. But if I do, it's a green arrow, and it's kind of just teetering around sort of 600 to 700k, and I'm kind of not pleased with that at the moment. So what I might do is start going a bit more differential towards the end of the season here and really attack the doubles. I think it should help me out kind of gain rank going forward. That's why I'm considering Andrew Robertson this week as well as Kanate, kind of playing on that double Liverpool defence. Oh wait, my light might be working now actually. There we go. Alfie says bench 1, Palmer, Rodgers, Wood, Murphy. It would be between Rodgers and Wood for me. I think Palmer's okay for this week. Completely fine option for this game week. I would definitely look to play Murphy with the fixture considered. I mean, we've seen Ahmad from that right-hand side position score a hat-trick against Southampton. Murphy plays on that right-hand side. Maybe that's a sign of weakness from Southampton, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But I think Murphy's definitely a great option this week as well. Wood's got a really tough fixture this week, is kind of what my thoughts are right now. Like, Bournemouth just haven't lost a game in 10 weeks. 10 weeks. That's a lot. Really great side. I mean, in terms of the table, I actually don't know. Yeah, they're not too far, are they? Yeah, look at that. 37 points for Bournemouth. Turn that into a win this week, and they're kind of pushing on towards top 4, which is absolutely crazy. Alfie says, I'm leaning towards Rodgers, to be honest. As a Villa fan, he's the heart of most attacks we have, but I see Forest and Bournemouth having goals in the game. Do you know what it is with Forest and Bournemouth? I don't see it having goals in the game. I think I'm slightly the opposite opinion to that game. I just feel as though Hudson-Odoi being out, there's maybe a little bit less output on that left side for Forest. Jota Silva kind of just can't replicate what Hudson-Odoi does. You still got Lange, you still got Morgan Gibbs-White and Wood, of course, in that attack. But yeah, I think Bournemouth is set up so well. Counter-attacking football at times is really good. But then Forest is so good defensively. I don't know. It's going to be a really good game to watch, I think. Hey mate, start Gabriel or Hall. If I do Mikalenko to Trent, I would definitely consider Hall this week, considering his fixture. A backline of sort of Trent, Gabriel, and Hall would be really nice. But I'm not too sure on your other players. Yeah, you're kind of suggesting that you're going to either start Gabriel or Hall and bench one of them. So who's the other third defender you're looking at? Because it would kind of be Hall, Trent, and somebody else. Half an hour till the FPL deadline now, everybody. Virgil too? I see. And Munoz. Oh my God, that's such a tough decision to make there. Because you've got loads of great assets in the defence. Yeah, maybe benching Gabriel could be a move you do. Because you've got good fixtures there to cover with sort of Virgil, Trent, and Lewis Hall. It's sort of bench order. I would maybe put Munoz ahead of Gabriel in bench order. Is Murphy injured? Well, let's have a look at the press conference information for you, brother. Let's find it out. I don't think I've seen anything really screaming out for Jacob Murphy. Let's have a read, though. So, Callum Wilson, there's a chance he'll be in the squad. Nick Pope. No real quotes on Jacob Murphy, mate. That's interesting, actually. Potentially the travel has been affected for the game. We'll see how it goes today. How today goes. Our plan is always to travel today. We'll seek the advice from the authorities in the airport and everyone if it's safe to fly. If not, we will end up flying tomorrow morning. The bus, it's a long journey. There's no guarantee on the wind conditions. What you think is a 8 or 9 hour journey won't turn into a 12 to 13 hour journey. So we best to look to fly. Oh. I mean, he's at captaincy now becomes a little bit interesting because, I mean, I wasn't really going to consider it anyway, but it is such a long journey for them. I mean, when I used to play and I had to travel sort of like 8 hours on a bus, it's not nice playing after your bus ride, I can't lie. You kind of cramped in your seat and you're like, oh my god, just get me out. So I went down to, where did I go? Might have been like Rochdale. No, it wasn't Rochdale. Anyway, I travelled 8 hours for a game one week on a Wednesday. I got there, I didn't play too many minutes, and I was like, oh my god, this is awful. Bus ride all the way back. It's minging. You can understand why players fly everywhere, because obviously they have the money to do so. And it's just so much faster than a bus. Oh my god. Obviously train's an option as well, but I think the trains have been cancelled as well, so... I really hope we get a little bit of team news come through this week. We haven't had it in such a long time. Should we have a little look at what the AI thinks I should do? The AI thinks I should make no transfer. Thanks. Also have Wissa. Is it worth starting Gabriel over him? No, Wissa's definitely a great start this week. I'm considering getting him next week, potentially. I was thinking I could do Yao Pedro to Wissa and get Kanate as well this week, but I think I'll give Yao Pedro another chance, and then obviously after this week, I think Wood could potentially be a sell. It's just, I don't know about Wood. It's hard to say. Obviously, he just does so well. He's consistent with his points. Yes, it's not groundbreaking hauls every week. It's maybe an assist or a goal here and there, but still, he's very consistent in that. How's it going, Charlie? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I think this is how I'm gonna be this week. Thoughts on Captain Son? The only problem with Spurs, right, is I just don't know how to think about them or feel about them at all. Like, I respect them as a team, and I enjoy watching them play, but with the amount of people who've been out, it's hard to say I'm confident on it. Oh. Bloody phone call. Yeah, it's a good fixture for Son, though. Really is. Not too long till deadline now, everyone. I'm looking forward to the double game week, though, in 24. First one of the season. Just going to keep my eye on Everton ever so slightly. Just keep a little side eye on Everton just to see how they do against Brighton. Imagine DCL or Ndai just becomes an option and you're just like, what on earth? Because they haven't been good all season. And then comes to this. It's interesting though, when I looked, Ndai actually has more points overall than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which I just didn't realise. I knew Dominic Calvert-Lewin hadn't scored in like 16 game weeks, but like, bloody hell. I'll have a little mess around with game week 24, see what I can even do. Imagine that for game week 24, having 5 doublers. 5 double game week players. Frees up a lot of funds as well. Just over 15 minutes to go at the deadline now, everyone. 15 minutes to go. Get a drink of water. This bottle's been the best thing that I got for Christmas so far. Absolutely huge. I love it. It's also a flask, so I can just put tea in it. If you didn't know, I'm completely obsessed with cup of teas, everybody. Cup of tea to me is like a religion. I'm religious in having cup of teas. Right, I'm going to peruse for some early team news, but I doubt we're going to get any. Can't see too much about team news actually, which again, super disappointing, but I mean, I guess it's a good thing for FPL that there's not team leaks, because people who sort of, I mean, aren't in the time zone of the UK kind of get, a bit affected by it, but yeah. I feel like Chelsea have gone to shit since I've last been on here. Hopefully, Baller Boy, since you're now back, Palmer can do really well this week. Maybe you're the spark that ignites Chelsea. Who knows? But yeah, Chelsea haven't been too great, mate, which is a bit of a shame. Still, though, they're up there. They're still up there. How do you feel about Chelsea, though, Baller Boy? Where do you think the problems lie at the moment? It'd be interesting to get your kind of insight on Chelsea, because obviously you watch them all the time, I imagine. Obviously, Sanchez, his mistakes recently haven't been too fantastic. He has good games and bad games, but a bit more consistency from him would be great, in my opinion. No. Interesting thing about Palmer as well is Manchester City apparently have no fit defenders, central defenders that is. So that's going to be interesting to see how he sets up. But yeah. What was the reverse fixture that like for the City game? I actually can't remember. 2-0 loss. So yeah. Right, exactly. Well, not exactly now. It just went over, but 15 minutes till the deadline. Still no team news. Still got 15 minutes to maybe hear something. Just feels like we're a bit inconsistent and not taking our chances, and our injuries at the back. Chalobah has looked great, though. Chalobah has looked really great. He has. It's interesting, though, to think about the possibility of him quite liking being at Palace and wanting to go, but like if he's starting in the Chelsea side and he's consistently starting, I think he'll be more inclined to stay than ever. Bench one, please. Howson, sorry, that's how you pronounce his name, I think, and Aina. I'd go home fixture. I'd go Howson. I think the absence of Hudson-Odoi is a big factor in sort of my decision-making this week to bench Wood. Obviously, I wouldn't normally play a player who doesn't have pens over someone who does, but yeah. Start Nico Williams or Robinson. I'd probably go Robinson. Gonna have to confirm my transfer soon. Just waiting on some team leaks if it comes out. Apparently there is a leak on Gakpo starting, but it's not from a source I'm really comfortable with. I haven't seen them predict a lineup before or have any inkling of starters, but something to consider. Keep sniffing, sorry. It's probably quite loud on the mic. I hate when this bloody changes. Why does this keep changing? Which game's actually on telly today? Does anyone know? Let's have a little look. Football on TV. Let's see what's on the telly today, eh? Luton Millwall, I've already missed it. How are Sunderland doing? Haven't checked the Championship in a while. We're fourth at the moment. Made a good signing in Enzo Laffi from Roma on loan with an obligation to buy if we get promoted. I'm pretty confident on playoffs. I think there's a large enough gap between us and Middlesbrough at the moment that I'm confident in playoffs, but automatics is another question because Leeds have a real quality about the squad and depth about them. It kind of makes me think that it's an easy, well, not easy, but a sort of likely chance they'll get automatics. Sheffield as well. Good signing. Well, not great signings, but decent signing in Tom Cannon. Quality in their squad. I think that's maybe the second place. And then we're kind of looking at the rest as playoffs. And it's kind of Sunderland and Burnley playoffs. And then the other two spots, I really don't know who's going to fall into that kind of place. Middlesbrough look decent, kind of the next team behind us, but 10 points away. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, the Championship this season. Just the top four running away with it. It's going to be a real close one. I mean, we've seen it last season as well. Leeds missing out last season, of course, on in playoffs, I believe. I think it was Southampton who beat them. Yeah, it might have been Southampton. The real question is on relegation this season in the Premier League because it's super difficult to stay up now. It's really, really difficult to stay up in the Premier League once you get promoted. You need so much quality. You need so much depth. It's so hard. A team I can really see doing it this season is Ipswich. Obviously, this week and kind of next run of fixtures for Ipswich are difficult, but Southampton are coming up for Ipswich, and if they win that game, that's a really big boost for them. I can see Southampton picking up a few points here and there, but I can't see them surviving. Leicester, similar. I've heard the Championship is really entertaining to watch. Yeah. Obviously, I watch all the Sunderland games. Yeah, really great league. Really great league. Super, super competitive league is what it is. Because everyone is sort of there amongst it. Anyone can beat anyone in the Championship. Hull have just beat Sheffield United last night 3-0, which no one really predicted at all. 8 minutes to go at the deadline now, everyone. 8 minutes. Gonna have a little look for team news again. I can't really see anything though. Yeah, Championship is a really great league. Can't see any team leaks. I mean, it's a good thing there's no team leaks, but it's also a bad thing in terms of like picking FPL picks because like it's just tricky. Marmouche had his first training session yesterday for City, which is nice to see. Marmouche is going to be a really interesting pick after this bad run of games. I would quite like to back him if he starts doing really well in these bad fixtures. Obviously, he's only 7 million. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong screen there. Sorry. Yeah, 7 million for Marmouche. And obviously, if we look past these bad fixtures, if we get City's fixtures up here, where are they? They're probably at the bottom there. If we kind of go from 29 onwards, or 28 onwards even, City have really good fixtures towards the end of the season. Yeah. I like the idea of getting Marmouche for this entire run of fixtures, or like Haaland especially. Maybe for me, going for wild cards in game week 30, kind of switching up how I see my team, going for like maybe a lineup of like Cunha, Haaland, and Chris Wood up front would be really interesting. 5 minutes to the deadline now. Got the hiccups. Didn't realise Anthony then is left for Sevilla. I do think it's a loan though. Shared salary. He does need minutes to be fair to the bloke, but he's really isn't it, is he? Four minutes to go. 4 minutes to go. I think I'm pretty locked with my transfer. I'm going to try leave it as much as I can. If I'm United, I'd pay full salary to loan Anthony out. Bro, I kind of I understand that. I mean, you have to pay for the service of a player. I understand that. You've got to pay something, but like United just need to get him away. They just need hopefully Anthony absolutely smashes it at Betis, and Betis just go, yeah, we'll have him. And they can just get maybe like 30, 40 million out of him, even though they paid bloody 80, 85. Not great. Really not great. Can't believe it, man. No team leaks. I would love a team leak right now. A team leak would be so great for me. Go on, give us the full Liverpool lineup in the last 3 minutes of the deadline. Go on, somebody drop it. Some member of staff just leak the whole thing. Go on. How great would that be, man? So helpful. 2 minutes. I've just got to stick it, don't I? Robinson out, Robertson in. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this move, but I think I'm going to go for it, you know. Let's do it. Let's do it. Boom. This is the lineup. Refresh the page so we know that it's all set and ready. There we go. Double Liverpool defence, ready for the double, ready for a good fixture this week. Let's just hope Robertson at least can play 80 minutes in all these fixtures. I doubt he will, though. I reckon he misses out on one of them, but we've got good bench cover. So we're going for it. I'm going for it. 1 minute till the deadline. 1 minute. We're going for it. That's the deadline gone. There we go. Deadline done. Wow. Looking forward to this week, actually. Looking forward to this week. Right, everyone. I think I'll end stream there. Good luck for the game week, everyone. I'm going to go get my dinner. But yeah, move was Robinson out, Robertson in. Bit of a risk, but we're going for it, eh? Why not? Alright, I'll see you in next week's videos, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in.